calling all misfits, rebels, leaders, and teachers, welcome to the one place where the only way to fit in is by standing out, where big goals are met with even bigger action, and where we talk through then tackle all things entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Kelsey Knudsen, and this is the Get Shit Done podcast. Welcome to the Revolution. Happy day 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas series. Today I want you to just cozy up, grab that cup of coffee, and I'm going to tell you the top 6 must-read business books. I would even venture to say you don't need a business degree. These 6 books got your back. And that says a lot because I paid a lot of money to have a business degree. I don't think every entrepreneur needs it. So today I'm going to tell you my favorite 6 books for business that I feel every entrepreneur should read, reread, and put into practice. Number 1, probably one of my favorites just because money stuff and finance and business can be so convoluted and confusing, but it's one of those things that if you're a CEO, guess what? You're also the CFO up until pretty high levels in business. And because money can be complicated, because a lot of people don't do a great job explaining it, because business finance, and I can speak to this because business finance and calculus taught in college isn't practical small business knowledge, isn't practical small business advice or tips or how to actually operate a business. It doesn't really teach you that. This is the book. And the book is Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. And it's not perfect. I love you, Mike, but some of the concepts in this book I think are a little convoluted for some small businesses, but there's a few things he gets right in this book. So if you are sitting here and you're like, money stuff scares me, I don't know where to start, I just trust my bookkeeper to do it. First of all, don't. And secondly, go do yourself a favor and either buy this book or read it, hear it on Audible, or however you auditory people do it. Mike Michalowicz, Profit First. Anything money related, it's a great starting point. I don't adopt the whole process in every nook and cranny of my business, but I do have a lot of the core principles implemented and executed in my business. And the second thing I will say, if you read Profit First and you're like, wow, I really want to use this in my business, please touch base with your accountant, CPA, EA, and bookkeeper, your finance team. Please talk to them before you go execute on this because not all of them like this. And I think there's ways to look at your money from a profit first perspective. And after you read the book, you'll know what I mean. There's ways to look at your finances from that lens without messing up the accounting side of things. So all that to say, highly recommend that book for anything money related. Book number 2 that I cannot stress enough is super important for all business owners is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. This book changed me. And this says a lot because as a person who has a business degree in entrepreneurship, I took a lot of different business classes, a lot of marketing classes. And what I found from marketing that was missing is the strategy side of things, specifically for a small business owner. How do you put together a website? What should a bio say? What should a sales page look like? What flow should happen? And I found Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller to be the solution. I love the way he breaks down brand. I love how he talks about the idea of a hero. And by the way, you as the business owner, you are not the hero in your client's journey. They are the hero. And just his approach and way to talking about brand is so foundational. It's the kind of thing that it's like a fine wine. It will age well. It doesn't matter the algorithm. It doesn't matter the platform or media. I feel like Building a Story Brand is the kind of book that is going to stand the test of time. And if you are struggling with your messaging, if you have a hard time converting your ideal people, if you go to introduce yourself and you struggle to do that, this is the book for you. Number 3 business book that I feel like is game-changing for every entrepreneur is Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is interesting. This is a book around habits, productivity, mindset. But honestly, I find that it's the GOAT. If you have a hard time prioritizing things, if you are someone who has workaholic tendencies and you have a hard time taking care of yourself, I'm raising my hand for those not watching this right now, then I highly, highly recommend Atomic Habits. I think it's just a good reminder of how to make small shifts in your day-to-day life that can support your business. One thing I notice oftentimes with leaders that I work with of any size business is the ones that are more successful take great care of themselves. Yes, they work a lot. Yes, they're dedicated to their craft. Yes, they're very driven. but they have a core level of self-care and self-love that they are committed to that is a non-negotiable, because they know that the most ROI they can get is in pouring into themselves. So Atomic Habits is a great book to help reframe your mind, refocus you. It's written really well, like it's an easy read. And I just love the way that he articulates things. And fun fact, he has a really awesome newsletter too. That is one of the very few I actually subscribe to. Book number 4, that's a must read in Kelsey speak in my world, is this, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I think the why matters in everything you do in business. And I talked about that recently with a group of people. We were talking about a product-based business that was struggling, a recent thing that has been going on in social media. And the why matters, the reason behind how you make decisions, the reason behind how you hire and fire and decide to work with someone or decide not to work with someone. All of that really matters a lot. And it's hard to know whether you are in alignment with your why or not if you don't pause first to identify what it is. So I definitely recommend reading Start With Why. If you read that and you're like, oh, this is super cool and interesting, and you're like curious what yours might be, then I would actually read book number 2, which is Find Your Why. It walks you through the process of how to actually discover what your why statement is. And again, I just think no one does it better. There's a lot of TED Talks and YouTube videos of Simon Sinek speaking on this, but I just feel like the book is the best medium to get that information across. So highly recommend. Book number 5 that I find is a fantastic business book everyone needs to read is Clockwork, also by Mike Michalowicz. Yes, the money guy, but this book is not about money. This book is about productivity and delegation, efficiency, and leadership. It's so well written, and it's funny because my business coach back in the day actually sent this to me, and I waited, I want to say, a year to read it. And once I read it, I was kicking myself for not reading it sooner. But it really helps you try on for size what would it look like for you to go on vacation and fully unplug from your business. And not just unplug, but like, what if you could unplug and things were still happening and moving forward while you were gone? I think a lot of us small business owners are like, that's literally impossible. And depending on your business model, mine, for instance, that's limited. Like the growth that can happen if I'm physically unavailable is pretty limited. However, the concepts in this book are so powerful because they get you thinking in that way. And if it's like, ooh, I wouldn't be able to leave even for a day and let things move efficiently without me, then it talks about some potential solutions and how to solve for that problem. And the solutions could be how you spend your time. The solutions can be how team members spend their time. The solutions could be, it's not really mentioned in this book because it's a little older, but now in current day, the solutions could be AI or automations or other systems and tech to support some more efficiency and delegation in your business. So if you struggle to get all the things done and all the functions of your business are tied to you as the business owner, Clockwork is the book for you. And number 6 book, which is also an OG, just tried and true, I would say sales book, but people like a psychological understanding, a roadmap, if you will, is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. In my opinion, there's very few people who have said it better than him, but having this idea that there is a process and a way to sell. And if we're business owners, guess what? We're probably the number one salesman in our business for a time, maybe not for forever, but that is one of our titles we wear in the early stages and scaling stages of a business. So I highly recommend this book just to better understand how people work, how to build relationships. And a fun fact, I think a lot of people who struggle on social media, if they really peel back the curtain and ask themselves the deeper rooted questions, I think what really happens oftentimes is they're getting eyeballs to their stuff, but they're not getting eyeballs and converting that into sales. And so if you don't know how to sell, it doesn't matter how many times you post. It doesn't matter if your trending audio reel went viral. That if you get lots of people following your content, but they're not converting and buying your stuff as a business owner, you have a sales issue, not a marketing issue. And that's where book number 6 is the solution, in my opinion. So I would argue, and I would say, you could get pretty far as a business owner if you read all 6 of these books. And I would even, this may be a little bit provocative, but I would argue, I don't know that you need a business degree to have a business. And again, that's coming from someone who has one. I learned way more in reading these books and then also executing what they're saying, trying out these different theories, getting feedback, trying and failing, and then putting the book down and just focusing on taking action. I learned more by reading and then doing than I ever did in a classroom. So all of that to say, this is day number 6 of 12. By the way, if you're catching this on the Get Shit Done podcast and you're like, what the heck did I just hop into? We're having a party over on YouTube. We are doing a special 12 Days of Christmas series where I am uploading a daily YouTube video, podcast style, for 12 days. And you happen to hop in on day number 6. So if you want to be brought up to speed and binge the last 5 days, you're welcome to do that. It's over on YouTube at Kelsey Marie Knudsen. That's the only place we're posting it. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Thank you for joining the Get Shit Done revolution. And I hope to catch you over on YouTube as we continue to share some more valuable videos throughout the next couple of days. And ultimately, I just want to set you up for success for next year. So thank you so much for being here. Catch you over on YouTube. Thanks for listening, and can't wait to chat with you about day number 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Oh, and before I forget, we're running a contest over here on YouTube. All you have to do to enter is make sure you subscribe to my channel at Kelsey Marie Knudsen, comment on all of these 12 Days of Christmas videos on YouTube, and also feel free to comment on any of the December reels that you see posted throughout the month. We're going to put everyone's name in a drawing and select that winner in the new year after the 12 Days of Christmas wraps up. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But I just want to remind you, if you win, you have an opportunity to do some 2025 planning with me, a business coach, and you get to come guest on the Get Shit Done podcast in 2025. So lots to look forward to. Thanks for being here. Hope to see your name entered into the drawing and can't wait to catch you in the next one. Hey, thanks for being a part of the Get Shit Done revolution. My hope is this episode sparked a fire in you, equipped you with some practical next steps, or inspired you to take action towards your goals. If it did, please help spread the word by sharing this episode or leaving a review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in. Now it's time for me to hand over the keys and let you get shit done.